Wings, Eric Stahl.
It's always fun games to play. It's always pretty intense, and I think we've grown to hate each other a little bit, throughout those Stanley Cup finals, and to be on with our fans on our side, I think it's always been good and fun.
He, of course, has made a lot of saves against the Red Wings, none bigger than the one at the buzzer on Nicholas Lindstrom and Dan Bilesma.
All right, Stanley, thank you very much. Well, we are 3 years removed from the Detroit Red Wings defeating the Penguins in the Stanley Cup Finals, and 2 years removed from the Penguins doing the same to Detroit. I know this is not a Stanley Cup final game, but when you think of Penguins and Wings, at least when the fans and media do, it still draws attention to that Stanley Cup final. So the players in the room still get pumped up and hyped up for the meeting against Detroit?
I think they do. I think the media does their fair share part, but I think both teams have some history. I think there's some animosity there. There's good memories and bad memories, and it's always a chance to measure yourself against a very good team. Detroit has been that. We're trying to be that as well, and so we get to go head-to-head tonight.
Now, we won't have the same cast involved, not because of players leaving both franchises, but because there are a lot of injuries, more so for Detroit than yourself. But Detroit is still finding a way to win. How are they doing so without some of their key players in the lineup?
Well, they've been doing it with a lot of consistency on how they play.
Oh my gosh, Mom.
Their power play has been very good, and they have a great presence in the offensive zone. They're known for their net front presence. Cleary's out, Holmstrom's out, but they still have guys that are going to that area. Their defensemen are getting shots through there. When you have that traffic in and around the cage, they still have enough players to get that offense, which they seem to be getting pretty consistently and getting points as well.
Jordan Staal has started to come around, if you will, as far as points are, with 5 points in his last 2 games. I know he's not your only offensive player, but with 5 goals against Montreal the other night, 3 against Boston on Saturday, do you like what your team has been able to do offensively without someone like Crosby as Staal starts to get his feet back?
Well, we've certainly been doing some good things. We have been focusing on getting to the net front and getting some presence there. We need to continue to work on that. Another thing I think we need to get better at in terms of being offense is getting more zone time, staying there for longer periods of time. That's how we want to grind teams down and play in that area, get more pucks back to the point, and then get second chances at the net. So that net front presence, more zone time, looking for that second chance opportunity, which is important when breaking down teams.
All right, Dan, best of luck.
Thanks, Dan.
Stan, it's the Pens and the Wings. Regular season, but still big. Let's head back upstairs to you.
All right, boys, like to see that again late, man. Threw the big wrench into the big red machine back in '09. Tonight he gets ready to play the Detroit Red Wings in a regular season game at Consol Energy Center. Hello again, everybody. I'm Paul Steigerwald along with Bob Airy. Injuries to both the Penguins and the Red Wings. The Pens without Sidney Crosby for the 6th time, Bob. And Pavel Datsyuk will miss his 13th game, but there's no shortage of stars in this game, including 2 of the top-scoring defensemen in the game.
Yes, and the Norris Trophy goes to the best defenseman in the National Hockey League on both sides of the puck. The Penguins' Chris Letang, 40 points. He's a plus 21. He's got 3 shootout goals, and he can play defense as well. What about Lidstrom? He already at the moment.
It's the Penguins and Red Wings.
The Penguins and the Red Wings, but the fans and the media certainly see it as something a little bit different. So, Chris, what's the mindset with you guys in the room as you prepare to meet Detroit tonight?
It's a team that both organizations have a little history, obviously winning Stanley Cups against each other, but they're one of the best teams in the West. We know we have to match their ability to play. We know they're a good team. They're missing some players, but we got to go out and play our best game to get 2 points tonight.
Even with 8 goals in the last couple of games, head coach Dan Bilesma said he would like to see more of a net front presence from you guys. How do you do that against the Wings?
Put guys there and shoot pucks. Wait around for the rebounds. They have a goalie that's some big pads. He kicks out some rebounds. So you got to be around the net looking for those second chances. That's what he wants.
Chris, thanks so much.
All right, no problem.
For more on tonight's game, let's send it upstairs.
All right, thank you, Dan. Let's take a look at the Toyota lineup tonight for Dan Bilesma.
Evgeny Malkin taking that top line on the ice with Pascal Dupuis and Chris Kunitz is on